some of what we've had to do. So, so we've got this XML markup and we've got schemas and all that kind of stuff going on. But the minute you write math, you're writing LaTeX, and we can't enforce perhaps, we don't have the structure once you get into the math bits. And we're discovering with the Braille work that there are little things that authors can do in their LaTeX that either make the Braille come out crazy or make the Braille come out nice. And we just, the best example was we had the abstract algebra book has some coding theory. So there are what are basically vectors, and they're just strings of zeros and ones. And the practice is to just pack them together, no commas, no parentheses. And if it starts with a 1, it looks like a number. And if it starts with a 0, then it's not a number and it's a string or something. So the tech needs a little more help, maybe just a thin space between each 0 and 1 to make it look more like a list, a vector. So where I'm going is we're collecting these things that authors can do, and it's just education. It sounds to me like if you discovered the things that make your output better or worse, crazy things people try, good things that happen, best practices, that might be a valuable thing that you can do without writing a bunch of code, and then you just got to get people to read the thing.
Your story about the coding theory vectors reminds me of a joke. There are 10 sorts of people in the world: those that understand binary and those that don't. I think Kelly's question could be boiled down to, is it a user responsibility or is it a system responsibility? And the LaTeX team have also got the problem, is it a LaTeX package responsibility or is it a LaTeX kernel responsibility? So they've got those questions. And I think what they're finding is for the packages to do the job, the kernel has to do more. And HyperF is the first instance of that. I'm going to pick up on what you said, Rob, about mathematics into Braille. I think it would be really helpful to have some sort of definition of standard LaTeX mathematics.
Well, it's too bad David Farmer is not here, because he would love to hear you say that. That is it. We would really like for there to be sort of a collection of maybe agreed upon macros, some standardization, and then we can do some extra accessibility type things with that. David's current example is just the X for a time symbol. He's got this example. Chess is played on an 8x8 grid with 64 equals 8 times 8 squares. And then there's a third use for X. But anyway, so, he suggests macros like /by, meaning, you're going to go buy a 2x4 at the lumber store versus, Cartesian product is the other sort of use of those. But, you look at LaTeX now and you see a /times, and Volcker tries to look around, as I understand it, and get some sense of context and figure out what kind of /times that is. But if there were macros like /by, /time, /product, then we can pass, say from pretext, we can pass information to MathJax so that the spoken version in a screen reader or the Braille version accurately conveys that this is 2x4 versus 10 times 12 or something like that. So there's definitely